Hey everyone, Off the Rail Sports with Bert Beiswanger. Hope you're getting a leg up on the weekend. We survived some storms last night. Well, didn't survive. I mean, it was a little sketchy there, but the sun comes out just like my friend says. When I walk into the room, the sun always shines. And he's right because that's what happened. It was cloudy, and I walked in here, and away we go. So we're live and kicking. Hey, it is Derby weeks. We like that. Churchill Downs. First of all, sad because closing day of Keeneland was yesterday, and that's awesome. The smooth, awesome sounds of Kurt Becker announcing the races, and just the atmosphere, the feel, the crowd. Keeneland is the best. But nice doubleheader. If you went down to Lexington, you could hit closing day at Keeneland yesterday, and then hit some horse farms in the morning, whatever, and then head down I-64. Go to Churchill Downs opening night tonight. 6 o'clock is the first post. I've done this before. I've gone to Churchill opening night. It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, you obviously don't have the crowd that you have on Derby week per se, like on Oaks Day and Derby Day, and of course not. However, it's a good crowd. The buzz is there. The feel is there. All the Derby stuff is all up. It's ready to go. They do the Kentucky Oaks draw tonight. They do the Derby draw. I witnessed that. Worked my way under a stanchion, if you will, row into the Derby draw area one time. It really wasn't that hard, but I looked the part and I played the part, and I got to participate in some media scrums and talk to the likes of Mike Rapoli, one of the biggest owners, thoroughbred owners in sports, a billionaire. And some trainers, Brad Cox, some jockeys, Florent Giroux, you name it. I met him, got to participate in that, and just enjoy the whole evening. This was a couple years ago. Awesome. Always thought I'd go back. Would like to go back on opening night, which is tonight, but don't think I'm going to make it. Anyway, it's Derby weeks. That's what I call them. Opening weekend here, all the way through the week, next week. So you got the Oaks on Friday, and you got the Derby on Saturday. Thursday even has gotten insane, honestly. Friday used to be the locals' day, so the locals stay away. They're like, hey, we'll go to the Derby on Friday, and then that's a wrap. Or go to Churchill on Friday, and then watch on Saturday. But now Thursday's kind of become the locals' day because Friday's gotten nuts too. So anyway, hey, listen, don't sit around on Saturday and wait for the Kentucky Derby. Take in all these races. It's a phenomenal card. It's so fun to just sit there and take in 3 hours of horse racing, and every 30 minutes, those gates open and you're off to the races. You don't have to bet on the races, but if you do, hey, throw $2 here and there. Do a place, do a show just for fun. A winner, a place, or a show, or a win, play, show. It doesn't matter. It is a blast. I love it. I love horse racing. This is kind of, they call it the Super Bowl. It's not. And I'm not going to go into explaining why, but suffice to say, these are very young horses. They're 3-year-olds. They're young in their 3-year-old years. So a lot of these horses will progress at different levels. And there's a lot of good 3-year-olds that we will not see this weekend because perhaps they just got late starts in their career. We've had a couple horses that would be among the favorites, if not the favorites, get scratched just because of injuries, and so the schedule changes. They're like, look, we're not doing the Derby, so they might show up more in the maybe at the Belmont or the Midsummer Classics like the Travers Stakes. The Breeders' Cup is really the Super Bowl of horse racing. The Breeders' Cup is the best in my opinion. All horses from all over the world, every distance, every surface, well, dirt and turf, sprint races, endurance races, classic races like a mile and a quarter. Breeders' Cup's the best. It's going to be at Keeneland this year. God, I'd like to go, but just like everything, man, it's gotten so expensive. It's so hard to get tickets, so we'll see. We like Derby week. You know what else we like right now? The NHL playoffs. Hey, this is the best in sports. I think the NHL playoffs and the MLB playoffs are the best. Now, they are my favorite by a mile. NHL blows the NBA playoffs away. If the Pacers aren't in it, I don't care. That's pretty much how I feel about the NBA in particular. But like last night, Montreal, I'm looking at the scores. Montreal place was insane. You cannot duplicate the authentic atmosphere of an NHL playoff game. I mean, you've got so the Canadians they don't make it that often. So they won a multi overtime game last night against the Lightning. So they lead that series 2-1. The Utah Mammoths. So they've only been in Utah 2 years now. It's been at least two or three. I think. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember. Um, Nonetheless, they're in the playoffs for the first time. They were the Arizona Coyotes or the Phoenix Coyotes, and man, they couldn't. They had a lot of rough years there, but they built this core, this really good core, and as they're getting better, and you can kind of see them improving. Boom, they leave for the right reasons. Great ownership group there in Salt Lake. Perfect fit. Salt Lake City and NHL. What a perfect fit. But the Mammoth win last night against the Golden Knights 4-2, so they are up 2-1. Ducks, Oilers, that thing has got goals galore. Today we've got 4 games. By the way, these TV times today we got 3 games. These TV times have been insanely stupid. I don't know. Like last Sunday there was 4 games. They started at like 3, 6, 8:30 and 9:30 or something like that. 10. Just stupid. These are 3-hour games, by the way, without overtime. So I don't know, man. NHL can't get out of its own way sometimes. I love it, but my God, start these East Coast games at 6. Hell, people on the East Coast don't care. You don't think Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay would be packed for a 6 o'clock game? It'd be awesome. Leave work early, go down to Amalie and take in the game, or Montreal. It would be awesome. Start them at 6, 6:30. 7:30, and then stagger the last 2. Like the Minnesota Wild the other night, we're playing the game at home against the Stars, and the game started at like 8:30 Minnesota time. That's stupid. That's insane. But anyway, you got the Canes today. That series is basically over. They're up 3-0 on the Senators. Stars Wild. TBS True. That's at 5:30 today. That's going to be a good one. That's 2-1 series. Stars are up 2-1. Wild got them in game 1, but the Stars do what they have done what they do, and that's bounce back after losing the first game of a series in the playoffs. And then the Flyers are just kicking the Penguins' butt, and I don't think anyone in the hockey world, other than Pittsburgh fans, is sad about that. So, and then the Sabres Bruins tomorrow. That's another thing. Buffalo hadn't been in the playoffs in like 15 years. That place was going insane this week. But they're back in Boston. Sabres are up 2-1 in that series. And then you got the Avalanche and the Kings, and the Avalanche will take care of business in that series. But love the NHL playoffs. Wish they were smarter about their TV scheduling, but what the heck. All right, NFL draft. We are in the throes of that, and I do not care. Especially that first round. My God, ESPN comes on. Like their draft show came on at 4, draft starts at 7. Who would sit there and listen to these talking heads at ESPN talk about the same things that everyone's been talking about for the last few months of these draft picks? I don't know, man. Get a hobby. Do something, because I just can't imagine sitting here and listening to this. And because the Colts don't have a first-round draft pick, I didn't watch it. And they had picks last night, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. The NFL is just – the NFL draft on ESPN has to be the most overproduced, overhyped show in sports. Production in sports. I'm sure it gets great ratings. Well, I'm not sure. I know it does. But I just don't care. You know what I do care about? Not enforced. Look at this. Beautiful jersey. Alternate jersey. Navy blue. It's got some blend in there. You can't see it. Little pattern. Fluorescent orange. The camera doesn't do it justice. Thank you, my friend Travis, for getting this for me. He was over in, well, he was specifically at Nottingham Forest game. It's a good place to buy it with Nottingham Forest jersey. So this is straight from the city ground, Nottingham Forest. And he was over there for multiple games and visiting different countries. But he looked at this jersey and said, you know what? That looks like something Bert would wear. And he was right, because I'm wearing it. So I love it. Premier League, for those of you who do not know, they have relegation. Bottom three get relegated when the season's over, and then three get promoted from the league below the championship. Forest came up a couple years ago. I thought, cool name, cool logo. Got myself a shirt. I said, if that team gets promoted, I'm getting a Nottingham Forest shirt, and that's my new team. And that's what I did. But now I got this beauty. So Forest was bad year. They were right there on the cut line, and there's still 5-6 games to go for everyone, but they're right there on the cut line, and they have kicked it into high gear the last 2 weeks. Got 6 important points. Scored 5 goals at Sunderland yesterday. Awesome. I think they're going to be safe, but you never say never. What's really interesting, you don't see this in American sports, right? But Tottenham is a big player in the Premier League. I mean, this would be like a Chicago team or a New York team or whatever. They are in relegation zone, and they play today here actually right now, and they play they play today. West Ham plays today. They're both fighting to stay out of relegation zone. It would be insane. Can you imagine American sports and having like a Chicago team relegated? Okay, I know the White Sox would be one of those, but you get what I'm saying. Like, let's just say, you have a team like the Yankees, who's well, Tottenham's not that. I don't know. My point is, take a top 5-6 franchise in baseball or whatever, and they have a horrible season, and boom, down they go. Doesn't happen very often in the Premier League, but this would be probably the biggest club I can think of in recent history. So that is awesome. All right, hey, that's enough of me. It's all about you. Get a leg up on the weekend, everyone. Take in some opening Churchill, take in some NHL playoffs. Watch rounds 5, 6, 7 of the draft if you want to. I am not going to. And get a leg up. Have a good day.